Hi, Amanda here from createyourfuture.co, and today we have a special guest with us. It is Erika. She is a coach here at Create Your Future. Hi, Erika.
Hi, Amanda.
So Erika came on today because she's got a success story from one of her clients that she would like to share with you. And one thing I will point out, she is available for coaching, for video coaching, and the link is in the description below. She also actually does sessions in Spanish. So if anybody is looking for coaching in Spanish, Erika is going to be the person you want to speak to. Okay, so Erika, yes, I'm excited to hear the success story. By the way, guys, disclaimer, when you listen to these success stories, you know, it's so important in your mind that you say, this is going to be me. This is going to happen for me, instead of why does this happen for other people, not for me, why? We want to be on our mental diet right now and make some intentions that I'm going to be a success story. This is going to happen to me. If they can do it, I can do it. Because I always get what I want, and I'm good enough, and everybody loves me.
Exactly.
Right. So let's hear it. I'm so excited.
I know, me too. Okay, let's start. Hi, Erika. I wanted to share my success story with you. I was in a long committed relationship with my SP. Everything was going great until I started thinking about moving in together with him. In the beginning, when we started dating, he mentioned that he wanted to get married again someday, and he also had lived with other women in the past. He also mentioned living with me once, but somehow I created a story about him based on my fears about him not committing to me and not wanting to move with me and marry me. Every time I thought about asking him about the idea of moving in together, I would get really nervous, and I would imagine that he would say no. So when I finally had the guts to ask him, of course his answer was a big fat no. He had all these excuses that I had actually thought that he would say to me that were opposite of what he had told me in the beginning of our relationship. So now I know for a fact that I created it all. Of course, I was sad about his answer, but worse yet, he broke up with me a couple of weeks later. I already knew about the law of attraction, and I was a big follower of Abraham Hicks. But after the breakup and feeling really sad and heartbroken, I looked all over YouTube about how to get over a breakup, and that's when I found Amanda's channel and a couple of other ones who talked about everyone is you pushed out. This was a totally new concept for me. I was so excited to give it a try, as I knew that the law always works no matter what, since I had put it into practice many times in the past. I got coaching with you, and I started following your advice about having a clean mental diet, creating positive intentions, getting rid of blocks, etc. I also did a lot of meditations and affirmations about self-love, and I did the Ho'oponopono meditation, which helps you forgive the people who have hurt you, but most importantly, it helps you forgive yourself for creating it all. After a couple of months of doing all this work and techniques, of course, he came back to me. I felt so good and confident knowing that I was indeed in complete control of my reality. I think something important to know is that once you get your SP back, you need to keep working on your positive intentions, positive assumptions about your SP, and self-love, because after being back together, I once again started having fears of losing him and remembered issues that we've had in the past. So of course that those fears created some small arguments and issues between us. But I snapped out of it. I worked on my intentions again and positive assumptions about him. And after an ugly argument, he actually apologized to me, as I intended that he would, even though he's never been the apologetic type of guy. So I know that I need to keep creating a beautiful version of him, one that wants to move in with me and marry me. And I know that I will eventually get that. I feel empowered and confident about the fact that I am in complete control of my reality, and you are too. Just believe that you can do it, have faith in the process, do the work, and be very persistent. Thank you, Erika, Amanda, and everyone at Create Your Future.
Oh, that is so amazing. I love that story. I know, a couple things in there that really actually caught my attention is that, positive assumptions and, you know, assuming what you want. And it's not just intentions for a week or two. It's not just an intention here or there. It's a complete change of our thoughts. We have to assume the person wants to be with us from the minute we meet them, or we decide we want to be with them, all the way through. You know, it's like when people get so hung up on time, like, how long do I got to intend for? 2 weeks? Like, how long is this going to take? Well, be honest, you have to intend that they want to be with you for the rest of the time you actually want to be with them. So
it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Like, you can just do a little bit and then you get what you want, and it's like you go back to the old way of thinking, and then you're gonna keep creating those bad situations. No, like, you have to decide, okay, this is the day when I change how I think and how I feel, because I want a better life for myself, right?
Yeah.
So,
and it's habit, repetition, repetition, repetition. The really cool thing is no, I don't even believe half of the intentions I throw out there, but they still show up, because it's not about believing them. It's just about saying them. If everybody believed their intentions, nobody would be shocked putting up success stories like, oh my goodness, I did it. Why are they so surprised if they already believed it? Because, you know, we never fully believe it until it shows up, but we just have to be on it and stay on top of our thoughts. And, you know, and yeah.
No, go ahead. I was going to say, that's why it's great to, like, when you manifest something small, that will help you, like, be like, oh my gosh, I can do that. If I can manifest this small thing, like a cup of coffee or, like, you know, a flower, whatever, then that will give you confidence in knowing, okay, if I can manifest this, I can manifest something bigger. Like,
totally. You know, one day completely changed my life when I manifested free chicken. Okay. Like, it was like, that was it. Like, I was like, oh my goodness, I got free chicken. Like, whoa, you know? So it's sometimes, you're right. It's the little tiny things, you know, that, you know, when we're having that day, when we're just like, nothing's working. But when we manifest that one little thing and have that moment where we see the magic and realize that we're like totally God of our universe, we're like, whoa. And then it's like, okay, now I'm tackling that winning lottery number. Now I'm tackling that, right? When we get ourselves back into there. And, you know, one thing that's so important in relationships is everybody is you pushed out, because we actually create what the other person thinks. Like in your client's story, you know, she really has a good point when she said every time she thought about asking him to move in with her, she would immediately feel nervous, right? Because the thoughts of he doesn't want to move in with me would make that feeling of nervousness, because I don't want to ask him. I'm scared of being rejected. So, you know, if we're not sure what we're thinking, then a really good way to figure that out is to check in with our feelings and see what we're feeling. You know, if we're thinking about something, about a particular subject, like our specific person or the person we want to be in a relationship with, and all of a sudden we're feeling nervous and scared, wait a minute, what are we thinking? What are we wanting? We need to get on top of our thoughts in those moments, because, you know, those thoughts are creating as well. And, you know, it's all about being aware of what we're thinking and aware of the destructive thought patterns that we want to intercept with intentions, and to really start to shift those, right?
exactly. Yeah, that's what I tell my clients all the time. Check in with yourself. Like, you shouldn't just do, oh, I'm going to do an intention here and there, and then the rest of the day I'm thinking negative, you know, thoughts. No, like, always check in with yourself. What am I thinking? How am I feeling? If you feel like, oh, like, I'm thinking that he's never going to get back to me, he's cheating on me, and then, like, no, like, go back to, now I'm going to work on my positive intentions, and, like, do it, like, as much as you can throughout the day, so you feel good throughout the day, right? It's not just doing an intention here and there. Like, it's try to, like, all day be present, and, you know.
Exactly. Present in the moment. You know, the one biggest thing, okay, that years ago I caught myself doing is I would get angry at things that haven't even happened yet. Okay. So just like your client had said, that she was getting nervous about asking him to move in because she wasn't living in the present moment. She was already anticipating he was going to say no. So now we're not even living in the present moment anymore. Right. So, you know, and then I started catching myself. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to go there and it's going to be a waste of time. And I'm like, oh, Amanda, you're getting upset over something that hasn't even happened yet. I'm like, but wait a minute, take it one step further. You're a creator and now you're creating. You're going to be disappointed if you go, you know, and to catch ourselves and to just have a little word with ourselves and be like, no, that's crazy. I'm going to go. And guess what? It's going to be good and beneficial. Right.
Like,
The other
yeah,
point.
she was creating that version of him with her fears, like, oh, like he's gonna say no. Like, of course he said no, but like in the beginning of the relationship, he was like, yeah, like I would like to get married again. I would like to move in with, you know, you someday. Like he said that in the beginning, but as the relationship kept going, like she started creating fears in her mind that created this version of him that she didn't like, of course.
Of course, right? Well, no, we didn't like it because we were scared of it, right? So it's so important to have our emotions in check, and we can control our emotions with our thoughts. You know, now I know sometimes people say that emotions control our thoughts. However, our emotions can influence our thoughts. However, our thoughts are what controls our emotions, because honestly, our thoughts are in our brain. If we didn't have our brain, we wouldn't have emotions. Okay, so it's not that emotions create our thoughts. No, our thoughts always create our emotions. If I was sitting here right now and I was thinking, oh, you know what, Jerry's going to dump me. Oh, I'm going to be upset in a second. Okay. And it's not like I'm sitting here going, I'm upset. Let me try to figure out why. Oh, maybe Jerry's going to dump me. No, I mean, you know, we create with our thoughts first. So once we start, you know, taking our thoughts and directing them into and focusing and assuming that we're going to get what we want and things are going to work out for us, then we automatically feel better. So the other one thing that I loved about the story was the self-love, and self-love is basically just self-confidence, right? And you know, one thing I think it's so important for everyone to do is to create a list if you're looking to manifest somebody, and write down all the reasons why you think that person wants to be with you. You know, I think all too often we spend so much time wondering, you know, like creating a list of why they don't want to be with us with our insecurities. But let's change that around and let's say, look, Jerry wants to be with me because I'm fun to be around, because I'm positive, because he enjoys his time with me, and start making up stuff on there. And when you focus on that for a long period, you know what, the other person will actually start to say that to you, and you'll be like, that was right off my list.
Exactly. That's putting yourself on that pedestal. That's what I tell my clients. Take that person off the pedestal. You're the one that's supposed to be up there. And since everyone is you pushed out, when you feel like you're the best thing ever, you're a great catch, you're lovable, you're like all that, like everyone is you pushed out. So they will have no other choice but to reflect that back to you.
Exactly, right? Exactly. And how you take someone off a pedestal is you put yourself on the pedestal. Okay, don't put the other person down or anything like that, because you want them to be the best version of them, but you also want to be the best version of you, right? So, you know, start throwing out to the universe why people love you, why people want to be around you, what you have to offer to people, and why they appreciate you. Well, this was such an amazing story. This is awesome. So guys, of course, you know, Erika does do video and email coaching, and the links are in the description below. So definitely check them out. And again, she does Spanish as well. And I'd like to thank you, Erika, for coming on today and sharing that story with us. That was awesome.
You're welcome, Amanda. I was so happy to be able to share this story with you guys.
That's so great. So guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.